You are welcome, Brother Justice Datsun.
Thank you, Brother Atul Brentishan.
Thank you very much. This is Prime Testimony Channel. I'm your host, Atul Brentishan, and with me here is Justice Datsun. Justice, can you remind me your position in Compassion?
Program Development Specialist.
Program Development Specialist, Compassion International, Ghana. Today we are going to look at another important topic, a topic that relates to the work of Compassion International. There's a Hebrew word called Qavah. How do you spell it?
Qavah.
Qavah, Qavah. I heard this for the first time at Compassion program. And we also got Hebrews. So today we are coming to delve deeper into that word. What is it all about and how does it relate to community development of people and all these things? So we are here purposely to discuss Qavah. Qavah, what is Qavah?
As you said, Qavah is a Hebrew word which actually means binding together.
Okay.
In other words, it's a way of life,
Right.
as we see it in Compassion.
Okay.
Some in Compassion will call it a tool for church mobilization. Okay. And this tool is in stages. So we go through these stages in mobilizing the church.
The church, okay.
Right.
All right.
So the first stage is envisioning the church.
But before you continue, how many stages in all do we have?
Actually, 6 stages.
6 stages.
Yes.
Okay. So you are starting from the first one. So envisioning
the
church. Doesn't mean the church don't have vision?
The church has a vision.
Okay.
But you see, sometimes your vision it is dying, it's going down.
Okay.
So it's a kind of revival.
Oh, okay.
To know that, this is the church. This should be our vision.
Okay, that's great. That's great. All right. So can you explain, overview about what is the envisioning the church all about?
So it helps the church to actually have their own vision.
Okay.
Okay. So in this envisioning the church, it's just a series of Bible studies.
Oh, okay.
Where we have biblical reflections. For example, we have the story of the Good Samaritan.
Okay.
The story with the woman at the well.
All right.
When you take these two stories, it's talking about breaking barriers. Sometimes as a church, we kind of we don't want to talk to the other people who are not Christians.
Okay.
We don't want to mingle with the others.
Like people say that do not be unequal with
unbelievers. Exactly.
As if someone who doesn't share the same thing with you is a contractor and he produces a road, the Christian,
you won't work on it.
You won't work on it.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Go ahead.
But those two stories.
Yes.
Okay. The woman at the well and the Good Samaritan is actually telling us that as Christians, we sometimes need to break barriers.
Okay.
And then enter certain places that we feel we are not supposed to enter.
So when you're a Christian, can be a politician. You can,
of course,
stand for it. Because some people have that as a Christian, you shouldn't involve yourself in politics.
Politicians should be Christians.
Of course. All right. That's great.
Politicians should be Christians.
Okay.
But sometimes people feel that as Christians, you shouldn't mingle with people of other faith. So breaking the barrier. You see, Jesus spoke with a woman at the well. Because they were supposed to speak to women, Samaritan, you understand? But he broke the barrier.
Yeah, Mary Magdalene.
And did that.
She was, they see lying and they say it was a show. However, Jesus Christ spoke it.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Yeah. So it has other scriptures. We talk about Isaiah 58 and so many. So it helps the church to create a vision.
Oh, okay.
That's the first stage. Then the second stage, we are talking about celebrating what we have and who we are.
Oh my goodness.
So in that stage, we are looking at, in the community we have a lot of resources that we do not appreciate. You understand? So we help people, we use biblical reflections. For example, biblical reflections that will help us appreciate the little resources that we have. And one of those biblical reflections is the feeding of the 5,000. Jesus fed them. And Jesus fed them. You see, with the little resources we have, you can do a lot.
Okay.
So in that stage, you also have an interesting exercise we call the longest line, where you bring in about 2 groups of people, maybe a group of 15, and tell them, with all the resources you have with you now, form the longest line. And let's see who has the longest line. And you see, we normally do this with church leaders.
Okay.
You see bishops removing their shirts and
Their
their
trousers.
belts and their trousers to form a line.
Okay.
And this tells us that we have resources around us.
Yeah.
That if we make use of those resources, we'll be able to achieve whatever we want to achieve.
And what I'm learning from this is that even the resources vary.
Oh, yes.
You will have this, I don't have it.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, you'll be able to bring all these things together.
Exactly.
So which means that sometimes you go to a place, a rural community or a small community, what do you have? For us, we don't have anything. It's only farm product that we have. But some people have intellect.
Exactly.
Some people have physical strength. Some people have this farms, they have money, they have all these
Even
things.
the only farm product we have is something.
It's something.
And they can make use of that.
Okay.
So that is celebrating who we are.
What do we have? Okay, you are listening to Prime Testimony Channel. My friend, like our brother Justice is saying, we must celebrate who we are and what we have. Whether you are an African, whether you are an American, whether you are an Asian, whether you are a Japanese, we must celebrate who we are. Even in country, celebrate who we are and whatever we have. God in His own wisdom shared natural resources, but She put different natural resources for different people in different places. So at the end of the day, we'll be able to trade among ourselves. When we are OBD, my brother, my sister, you have something. So let us celebrate. Because until you appreciate what you have, you will not be able to go forward in life. You need to appreciate it. So that at the end of the day, you'll be able to collaborate with your other people so that you'll be able to bring about development. I think it's a great learning tool. Shall we look at the third stage?
Describing our community.
Okay, how do we go about that one?
So we look at our community. Normally in that session, we draw the map of the community.
Yeah.
We indicate where the rivers are, where the trees are, where other resources.
Okay.
So we look at the resources in the community and we map them.
All right.
Okay. And it helps us to appreciate at a glance what we have
In a community.
in the community.
Okay. All right. All right.
And in describing our community, we also make use of other people who have information.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you go to any community, well, you might find statisticians like those working in the government offices who keep data and all of that. You also find other professionals who also have certain data, like the health professionals, the educationists, the teachers, the others. They also have certain information about the community.
Okay.
Then you have the community itself, who have a focus group discussion.